Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going over how to draw Charmeleon, and oops, let me focus. We're going over how to draw Charmeleon from Pokemon. Charmeleon. I'm going to be coloring it too. Very simple coloring too, nothing crazy. So those I don't go over what these are later, as we use them. This is a Prismacolor pencil, but you can use any pencil. I'm just going to use it for like the lay-in lines, and then there's this marker. You can use any marker you want. I'm going to use a Copic as a thick side and a thin side that is very useful. This side is kind of crummy, so I might incorporate also this as well, which is just a Prismacolor pen, kind of a fountain pen. So we'll see how that works out. So right now, let's go over some general drawing of him. 1 second. Boom. A circle for his head, a circle in the placement for his head. I'm gonna try to draw it like light enough so that I can erase, but dark enough so that you can see it. Hopefully you can kind of see that, you know, you can kind of see it vaguely on the page. And this is just as a placement device, doesn't really matter. He's got a little neck there, and I like to kind of get the entire sweep of his body a little bit, all the way to his tail. Like if you follow his spine down to his tail, where would it go? I imagine that. I put a big egg-like shape over here for his torso. His lower torso gets bigger as it goes down. It's got a big egg shape. You can adjust these later, don't worry about it. Like I said, hopefully you can see this with the camera. Let me see that. Yeah, you can kind of see it. You can see it well enough to follow me. And little balls for the shoulders. Shoulders are very tight, I've noticed. They're very in. He doesn't have broad shoulders. I'm extending outward to find his forearms. He has the top part of his arm and the bottom part of his arm. Bottom part of his arm gets big as it goes down. That's always cool looking too in designs. Excuse me, I got a cough. Leg. And then his other leg over here is going to be coming forward at us a tiny, tiny bit. Think of it as like a little tube. It is pretty flat, too, his legs. They're not lanky, you know, like ours. They're kind of wide and very, you know, short to the ground. Close to the ground. So this is what I would kind of look into. See, and this is where I would kind of start, you know, kind of, this would be like a broad lane. Like, I know I'm not going to go beyond the foot over here or beyond the head so much, at least not to a significant amount. So that's why I feel like safe. This is like my safe zone. And then now I can go into maybe just the head. He has kind of a point in the back of his head here, triangular point. And then he has kind of a point on the front as well. He has that dragon-like face. That dragon face. And then and you're doing these things, and you got to remember you're doing them in this pencil, and they're always erasable. You know, always. I can always go back and just kind of like get rid of that a little bit, or pull it back. His eyes are big. That's just the way these characters are drawn. They're made to look ferocious yet friendly at the same time. I think that has to do with why they're so popular. You know, a lot of characters that have that kind of scary yet friendly look. If you want an example of scary yet friendly, or you know, has a potential to be scary but it's friendly, it would be something like friendly looking. Would be maybe something like How to Train Your Dragon. That has a very good design as well. You know, it can be scary when you want it to be. Again, you know, very ferocious, but it's also super friendly looking. Like think of real life animals have that exact same quality as well. You know. So what I'm going to be doing right now is I think I have enough to actually start with a marker. I'm safe enough to start with a marker. So let me try this marker out. And if I don't like it, I'll let you know and I'll switch. Let me pull this down a little bit. Get this aligned a little bit. All right. So let me go into the eyeball first. This marker's a little bit thick. Thinking about, nah, I'm gonna stay with it though. It's just gonna be, I'm gonna have to work a little bit slower. The eye is gonna aim forward. And I'm gonna go to the outside over here. The other eye. You're essentially tracing your own drawing, right? At least the lines that you want. You can even modify them a slight bit because you're able to do that right now. On the front right here, just kind of following my own drawing lines. I gotta be careful not to drag them too much because right now they're starting to bleed. That's if you let them sit there too long, it'll just start soaking into the paper in a really bizarre way. For the outside lines, I'm gonna use the marker. I might actually start using the. Let me try using this pen real quick. This Prismacolor pen for the inside here. It's too thin. Let's see if I got something else over here. Oh, actually, I think I do, actually. So I'm using this now. This is a Micron, a really thick one. It's a thick pen for this type. That might work a little bit. Be easier for the nostril as well. And I don't really want to use it for the outside lines. I'm going to use it for the lines on the inside. So let me continue with the other marker, but then I'll use that for the inside lines, if that makes sense. Trying to pull these lines fast. I feel like I'm fighting the tool right now. Pull that quick. Luckily, you won't have that, hopefully. Or you're fighting the tool that you have. I'm just doing it because I have to, and this is a demo. I won't do those fingers quite yet because of this marker. The marker's too thick, because you're getting into smaller detail there. And I don't want to do that with this particular thing that I have, this particular marker. Okay. Same over there, doing it to the edge. This is going to be the hard one, the stomach, because it's a large curve, right? Did alright. It could have been. I think that could have been bigger, but it'll work. Pulling these things quickly. Want to pull the tail now. That's going to be another large curve. I have to make sure it kind of goes with that as if it's connecting. And so now I'm going to be using this Micron again. I can tell you the thickness of it. I think it's an 0.8. I'm not sure if that's yeah, I think that's the thickness of it. It is the big micron. So let me go into the fingers. Fingers are basically spikes. It feels so much better to do this with this right here. I use the other marker so that it's thicker and then will stand out more and you can see it on camera better. If you do want me to just start doing demos with the Micron only, let me know. It's thinner, it won't come out as good on camera though, that's how I feel. Got a little fire at the end of his tail. Try to make the fire as spontaneous as you can, really. It does peak at the top. A lot of that's going to be through color. The feet. Kind of a three-toed foot. Maybe 3 spikes. And he has a pattern, that egg-like pattern on his stomach, that stomach pattern. I pulled that with a smaller line there. Got an anger look here, like slight anger he has. Pull that with that line. I feel safer to do it with this micron than I would anything else. Not anything else, but than the other marker. Let me erase. I mean, I should have waited a little bit to make sure it's dry, because sometimes you can do this and the ink will splat a little bit. So, but I don't know, I felt safe enough. I even have a gum eraser, which normally I think are garbage, but I guess it works for stuff like this. I don't know why I used to hate these things. I like them now. I think the camera's shaking. Sorry about that. Actually, this doesn't erase very well. Maybe I'm going to go back to hating this eraser. That does not erase very well. Anyways, that's good enough for now to keep working on it. Check the camera. I'm going to go back and get this marker here, and I'm going to kind of embolden the outline of him because I want him to stand out. And this is going to be a little bit stylistic, but this is just something I like to do. I like to throw a big, thick line around these characters to make them stand out. And that's just me. That's just something I do in my art sometimes. Kind of reminds me of tag art. I feel it makes it look pretty cool. So I'm just going to do it. I'm not saying you have to do it, I like doing it. Just the contour. I'm not gonna do, well, I guess I'll do it for the flame, why not? I did forget one thing though, on the tail. The pattern of the stomach goes down to the tail as well. So, let's start coloring. I'm going to be using these Rose Art brand colored pencils. I'm not going to do anything too fancy with it, I just want to get some value, some color in there, you know. It's nothing too fancy. Let me start by using this kind of orange on him. And start by pressing pretty darkly, at least toward the bottom areas, and then gradating them toward the top. I just like that look. I'm pushing down, but also pushing down hard on the side as well. I can't be too... You know, you can definitely just shade across the whole board and then keep shading and getting darker and darker. But I kind of like this as well. It's kind of boring, so this is going to be sped up a little bit, like a cooking show. So anyways, I just added a little bit of color to them. I could go darker with it. I did kind of throw it kind of light. This is actually one of the few things that makes me feel like I'm getting carpal tunnel. It's because I'm pushing down so hard on it, it hurts. But I just wanted to throw a little light color on there. And then I'm also going to do the same thing with this red over here in the flame. On the outer edges of the flame. And then on the inside I'll throw a little bit of yellow. Like bright yellow. And this is just a quick addition. I know his eyes are normally blue, but I'm just going to throw this because I don't have a blue right now. Just going to throw some in there. And then I have this light orange, they call it, but it basically looks yellow. And I'm going to throw just a glaze of that over his tummy there. And nothing very fancy, you know what I mean? This is just a demonstration. If this wasn't a demonstration, what I would do is I would do this with more care, you know? I'll just kind of like push down harder on certain areas that I want to. But since it's just a demonstration, I'm just sort of showing you what I generally do, but just not a non-refined part of that. Throw some on the nails here. Give them some slight dimension. If you really want, you can go back with a pencil here, and you can throw a shadow pattern underneath them here. Doesn't have to be super neat. But, you know, could be. And that's about it. Let me go over the colors, because I don't think I went over the colors before. On this Rose Art brand, it's red orange, it's light orange, yellow, and this is basically red, but it's cherry red on the colors. So that's about it for this demonstration. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you have any requests, please let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you another time.